Welcome to Chris Parkin Shooting Sports. Today I'm out with a new Tier 1 ELR competition bipod. This is a superb bit of kit. It's Picatinny fitting, you can have an Arca Swiss one's going to be available too. This is the only prototype, this is the one that was actually at the British Shooting Show that many of you saw, and Tier 1 took the feedback from yourselves on, and I'm going to make a few small design changes for the full production version, but I have to say I've been shooting this prototype and I am very pleased with it. We've got 3 leg positions, forward and backward, and we've got 3 leg angles spread outwards, 120 degrees, 70 degrees or 30 degrees. This allows you to tune it completely for the stability and circumstances you need, and completely out like that with the legs fully extended you end up with an extremely wide support platform. All the manufacturing tolerances have been minimised. It's all 7000 series aluminium, not because it needs to be, but because they can make it from that, because they know it's a better product. It machines better, it's harder, gives you greater long-term durability on all the teeth, notches, things like that. And that's why we like Tier 1. Overall weight is 588 grams or 20.7 ounces. Leg extension, ignoring the feet, is 210mm or 28¼ inches up to 300mm or 11.8 inches. Total of 5 stages with 23mm between each stage. The legs spread from 30 to 70 to 120 degrees. Minimum spread is 135mm or 15.25 inches. Maximum spread is 590mm or 23.25 inches. From the floor to the base of the Picatinny mount, with the legs at 30 degrees, you're 270mm off the ground, up to 350mm at full extension. At 70 degrees, you're 230mm off the ground, up to 300mm. At 120 degrees, it's 145mm from the floor, or 185mm at full extension. Because I can adjust the tension on the clamp on this one, I can set it exactly how tight I want it, so you minimise a lot of the play in the whole system. When I do wobble it, it's the bipod's tolerances themselves, which I can tension using the wheel there, and there's also a screw on the back. There's no movement between the bipod and the Picatinny rail itself. Undo the latch and that will just come off, and in reverse fits straight back on like that. The bipod offers panning capability to engage your targets, but you can lock that off with a small wing here so that it locks centrally. This small wing is actually going to be enlarged for the production version of the bipod to make it a bit more accessible wearing gloves. When you first set the bipod up on your rifle, there's a Torx key in here which allows you to preset the cant tension to suit the weight of the rifle you're using it on. You can slacken off that adjuster there to make it a little bit easier on occasion to move the leg angles like this, and then just nip that back down if you want to. But even at full tension, the legs will still move. It's just a pre-tensioner, and it's a nice factor and a feature. You might need it, you might not. Each leg extends from 210mm out to 300mm in 5 locking stages. You can pull them out immediately like that, or if you want to use them slowly and quietly, you can squeeze the button to do it. These are all pre-sprung and latched, and each individual stage is 23mm from one to the next. The 3 leg separation angles are 30 degrees. I can move that out to 70 degrees or go all the way out to 120 degrees like that. I'm doing that just by pushing the buttons on the back here in red, which allows you to take the spring tension off and click them on the detents like that. The legs have 3 deployment angles, so you've got 90 degrees all the way down, 45 degrees forward, which some people might want to use with the legs extended to increase the wheelbase of the rifle, or you can fold up at 0 degrees like that. Folding it completely forward with the legs pinched together means it minimises the amount of space you use to fit it in your rifle case, and it doesn't interfere if you're using other support arrangements like shooting from quad sticks or tripods. I specifically like the way the feet grip into the ground. I am actually using the spare claw feet rather than the rubber feet. The rubber feet would be great on a bench. What's particularly useful for long range shooters is you can add an incredible amount of elevation on the bipod for shooting at long distance without compromising lateral stability. So the bipod comes with rubber feet as standard, but you can have these additional claw feet to give you more grip on softer ground like this. These would be my preference generally speaking, I think, although the rubber feet are great if you're shooting from a bench or indoors, anything like that. These come in and out with a spring detent here, so you need a sharp point, pop those in and they'll just come out and you can swap back and forth as you require. When you compare a few of these bipods, this is the Skypod from MDT and this is Tier 1's new ELR competition bipod. Now the weight is significantly different. This one at just short of 600 grams and that one is about double the weight. There is also an interesting point because although they work in similar ways, the manufacturing tolerances have been absolutely minimised on the Tier 1 bipod. So with everything locked down and tight, if I rattle that, you can't hear it rattle. If I rattle this one, you can hear it a lot more. Now that is all about the play in use and how much you've got movement in the legs compared to when you're loading the rifle up with your shoulder pressure. One thing Tier 1 have specifically done is to reduce manufacturing tolerances, and you can tell when using their bipod you don't get anything like as much play. But interestingly, because their Picatinny clamp is also adjustable, you can tension it more. Because, for example, the spring adjuster on this one, although it's easy and quick to slide on and slide off, you do actually get a significant amount of play where it actually engages with the Picatinny rail itself. I've just set this one up at a similar leg angle to get a comparison, and I'm going to shoot the same target, the same distance. As I load and unload the bipod, you can see the more play in it. Well, I hope you've watched that little introduction to this new Tier 1 bipod. I'm very impressed with it. I think everything they've set out to achieve, they've set out for, and I love the fact they came to the British Shooting Show, asked everybody for their comments, and the 2 or 3 small items, which don't fundamentally affect it, just really the size of some of the buttons and controls really, have been taken on board and have been engineered already into the CAD drawings and everything for the second version, which is going to be the full production version available soon. The weight is exceptionally good. It's shy of 600 grams, 588 I think off the top of my head. The extension and position capability means it will work in most scenarios, and for a precision rifle or anything you need to use at extreme long range where you do want significant amounts of leg extension purely to set up the actual elevation you need on the rifle, this is superb. Well, I hope you've enjoyed that introduction to the Tier 1 bipod. Please like my channel, please subscribe, please comment, and please click the notification bell. I try to put new videos on every week for you to watch, and your comments are what drive me to make more. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.